Hey, fourth grade, I'm going to go over the answers to last week's problems. Sorry, this took a couple days. Some of you know my wife recently had a baby, so I was in the hospital for the past couple days. But we're going to pick up where we left off. So the first one, or the first couple, were asking what unit of measurement would we use to actually measure this. So we have kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. So a height of a tree, if you think about a kilometer, that's how far you could walk in 12 minutes. Way too big. Meter is like halfway up the door. That sounds pretty perfect to me. Centimeter is about the width of your finger, and a millimeter is like the thickness of a dime. So obviously the best one for this one would be a meter. For something the width of a kernel of corn, well, that would be very small. It's actually going to be even smaller than your finger, most likely. So that one we would have to use a millimeter then. And then the length of your arm, halfway up the door would be too big. You wouldn't want to use dimes. That one you'd want to use centimeters. All right, so then number 4, they're asking us to convert 7 meters into how many centimeters? Well, if I look here, 1 meter is 100 centimeters because centi means 100. So 7 meters, that means for every one is 100. So 7 groups of 100 would be 700. Remember we said this conversion was nice and easy. All that would be 7 multiplied by 100. 8 kilometers into meters. Well, in 1 kilometer, there's 1,000 meters. So every kilometer is 1,000 meters. Well, I have 8 kilometers. So that'd be 8 groups of 1,000 or 8,000 meters. Number 6, 65 centimeters is so many millimeters. This conversion wasn't on our sheet, so we added it. There is 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So since we have 65 centimeters and every one of those is 10 millimeters, so that'd be 65 multiplied by 10, or 650. Finishing off the rest of the answers, we have 2 meters is 200 centimeters. For 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, 2 kilometers is 2,000 meters, 3 kilometers is 3,000. 9, 1 meter is 100 centimeters, 2 meters is 200 centimeters, 3 meters is 300 centimeters. These charts, we can really see a nice, easy pattern here. Number 4, they're asking how many centimeters are in 3 meters. Well, if 1 meter is 100 centimeters, then 3 meters has to be 300 centimeters. 17, the correct options were, if this was an A, B, C, D, E question, C and E, that 17 centimeters is the same thing as 170 millimeters, and 5 kilometers is 5,000 meters. For 18, A and C would be correct. We'd have to change these so they're the same units. It's hard to compare meters and millimeters. Well, 5 meters, there's 1,000 millimeters in every meter, so that would be 5,000 millimeters. So obviously 5,000 is less than 5,200. And then changing my centimeters into millimeters, there's 10 millimeters in every centimeter, so that would be 210 millimeters, and 210 is greater than 200. So again, it's doing these conversions, multiplying in this case by powers of 10. I'm either going to multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000. So for the final lesson on the metric system, we're going to talk about capacity and mass. So Sandy has 3 liters of water. Ooh, we haven't talked about liters yet. How much water does she have in milliliters? So first thing I'm going to do, go right to my reference sheet, go down to the metric section, and I see, 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So for every liter I have 1,000 milliliters. Well, I have 3 liters, so in each one of those is 1,000 milliliters. That would be 3 groups of 1,000. So 3 multiplied by 1,000, which is 3,000. So she would have 3,000 milliliters. Now we haven't done a problem with capacity or mass up until now, but it's the same process. Using this reference sheet, I can solve easily. So before we move on to things I wanted to add in, we talked about both of these in science, but it's a good review. Mass is the amount of matter an object has. A lot of people confuse mass and gravity because sometimes they're kind of thought of the same. Gravity is affected by weight. I don't know if I said gravity. Mass and weight are sometimes confused. Weight is the effect gravity has on mass. and mass is going to stay the same. So on Earth, we have so much gravity. I weigh so much. When I go to the moon will have less gravity, so I would weigh less. But my mass is going to stay the same. The amount of matter in me doesn't change. In volume and capacity, very similar concepts. That's the amount of space something takes up, whether it's a liquid, solid, or gas. So moving on, we have 5 liters equals how many milliliters? Well, we said that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So that would be 5 multiplied by 1,000, or 5,000. You notice how we're still multiplying by 100 or 10 or 1,000. All these are called powers of 10. Now I have mass, because this is going to be in grams. 6 grams is how many milligrams? Well, 5 liters is so many milliliters. Let's see, so I multiply by 1,000. Let's see, grams. Let's see what I'm going to multiply. 1 gram is 1,000 milli. Oh, so when I'm going from the base unit, whether that's liters, grams, or meters, and I'm going to milli, that's multiplying by 1,000. So 6 multiplied by 1,000, 6 groups of 1,000 would give me 6,000. So 6 grams, 6,000 milligrams. 4 kilograms is equal to how many grams? So if I look here, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So for every kilogram I have, 1,000 grams. So I have 4 kilograms. 4 kilograms. Each kilogram is 1,000 grams. That's 4 groups of 1,000, or 4,000. So there are 4,000 grams and 4 kilograms. So the metric system, very straightforward. Multiply in terms of 4th grade, we're always multiplying by a power of 10, 100, 1,000, and that multiplication is nice and easy. So for today's practice problems, on 13.5, metric mass and capacity, it may be metric capacity and mass. I may have flipped it around when I was writing. I want you to work on questions 4 through 9, 12, 13, 16, and 17. And hopefully this is pretty easy. It's been something we've been going through if you've been following along every video. If you have any questions, reach out to me and I'll try to help. All right, thank you. Have a great day.